So once they get that page, that email is going to be sent right to them. So it's going to follow the same formula as your thank you page, because we've already heard that it can result in 320% more revenue than other promo emails. So this is your basic template. You know, it's a subject line that says thank you, because we also learned the words thank you are important for getting people to open up that email, and what you promised. So thank you, maybe colon, you're free, whatever it is you're offering them. Again, thank them for registering, give them that link to the download. But again, but before you go, and a headline with those benefits, and make that special offer as well. So it carries all the way through. And it can be, you know, pretty much the same as what your thank you page is there. You may want to offer, maybe add a little bit more, because they'll see the thank you page first. Give them a different reason to take that customer offer there. So here's this is a fictional example. So, you know, again, it's the thank yous in the subject line, and it says, I'm not going to read through it all, but we're talking about, you know, congratulating them on their first step again. So, you know, they know that that's the first thing they need to do. But before they go, there's another offer, really hard to resist, something good for getting them on that customer list, and where you can sell them more expensive products afterwards. And some follow-up emails we're going to need, right? Because we're not going to stop at one. And what we've included with the training and in the VIP package, and I'm still going to go through all the emails. So even if you don't have the VIP, you're going to get this formula. If you are the VIP, you get the actual template documents that you can work with. This is something that I use, because even though some people will buy right away, others will need to see your message a few times. So if you use an autoresponder like Aweber or GetResponse again, make sure that those new subscribers, when they come into this free offer, that they're only getting the follow-up series. You don't want them to receive any other broadcasts that you might be sending the rest of your list while they're on that follow-up sequence. So the follow-up should be focused on the product or service that you're selling, right? But it can also be educational as well. So you want them to feel like they're getting benefit from hearing from you, even if they aren't buying right there and then. And if they are buying, they're going to feel like they got even more value. So this is the basic, 7 email that we do. And usually it's daily. I mean, you can test out different intervals, and it's not set in stone, but it's a great starting point, and it shows you how to create, interesting emails, but they're selling at the same time. You might replace some of the emails here with, adding case studies or adding FAQs. There's lots of different ways you can educate your potential customer so that they feel like they've learned something and they're also more ready to buy. But quick overview is we start with a thank you email that introduces the product and benefits. We already did that one. The second email is to make them, and I'm going to go in detail in a sec, make them imagine the possibilities of that product. Email 3 gives them ideas for making most of the product, so they're thinking about it more, how it could work for them. Email 4 is common mistakes in solving the problem that they have and how to avoid them. So see, that's valuable to anybody, but also gives them the confidence to start solving that problem and buying that product from you. And email 5 is a tips email, but again, you could mix it up. You could do case study, you could do an FAQ, all that different stuff, but our samples have the tips. And then the last 2 emails are basically reminders, last 24 hours, and then your last call. So let's go through all those, starting at email 2, since we've already done the rest of them. All right, so email 2 is about imagining the possibilities. You're gonna help them visualize what it's like to have your product, maybe do the math for them. So for example, if it's a marketing product, tell them how much they'd have to sell to earn a certain amount of money. Or for weight loss, losing 2 pounds a week adds up to whatever by a certain date, or for financial programs, saving however much money on their monthly budget means they'll be able to do whatever it is your target customer wants to be able to do. And think about, when you do this, is the benefit of the benefit. If you've learned about copywriting, you often hear about the benefits, that you should list benefits, not features. And an example would be saving time, saving money, whatever it happens to be. But that's just a benefit. But go further. You know, if your for example, if your product saves time, that's the main benefit. What would your ideal customer want to do with that time? How would their life be different? Like, take it that extra step. If you have a targeted audience, you kind of know who they are and what's important to them. Help them visualize that. So would it mean more time away from work and more time with their kids, more time to strategize and plan their business, whatever it happens to be? Give them that extra thing where they can see how it would apply to their own lives. So here's an example. And actually the examples you're going to see are from it's affiliate emails that we put together for our affiliates for a certain product that I was working on. So we asked them, you know, what would you do with an extra $5,400 a month? And we break down the math for them, as you can see on the screen. So it's a product that taught people how to create membership sites. And I'm sure some of our students here might have actually been part of Member Site Live, so they know what we're talking about. So we broke down the math. So if you had just 40 members at $11.99 per month, that's $480. That's a car payment each month, right? So we're helping them visualize exactly what that money could mean. So even if they don't have a car payment, they can still imagine how valuable that could be. Increase that number to 200 members to make $2,398. That would cover most mortgage payments and even more. And it goes on with different examples as well. And how do I keep going backwards? All right. So then we're talking about them, you know, selling their membership at a higher price or something. And then, you know, 200 members at $27 would be $5,400. That would probably cover your car, mortgage, utilities, groceries, and then some. So email 3 gives people ideas for making the most of your product. Oh, what the heck? Ideas, yes. I don't know why that description is the same, is the same as last, but I apologize. So anyways, give them ideas on how they could use the product in their life. For example, you know, for a portable exercise product like an under-the-desk elliptical machine, tell them how they can skip the gym on those days, bring it to work and use it under their desk. Or they don't have to miss their favorite TV program because they can exercise at work or something like that. Now here's our example. So we're talking about the membership site example. So we're giving them real ideas for how they could start doing it. So if people think about the idea of creating a membership site, but they're not sure, they're like, well, I don't really know what to start a membership site about. But we send them this email that tells them they could do a community-based membership, and it gives them real ideas and tips on how to incorporate that. And you'll notice, like, I'll read out the first one here. So you could do a community-based membership. This involves setting up a protected Facebook group or forum for your members. The value comes from private access only to paying members. You can feature exclusive information, members-only challenges or contests, and more. And then we link it back to the product and say, Ron and Alice's Elite Writers Lab is one example of a community membership site. And then let me go to the next screen here too. So it's all like showing that, or we talk about a PLR membership site, and it says that Alice runs a few of these herself. So it shows that we're doing what we're teaching, right? So it's giving people the confidence. It's always relating back to, if not the product, at least the people who are, you know, doing the training. So we're always educating them, but also still talking about the product at the same time. All right. So email 4 is avoiding common mistakes. Nobody wants to make mistakes, right? And this is always an email that gets a lot of attention because people want to know how to do things correctly. So you can outline about 3 common mistakes. 5 might be a lot. I'd just do 3. People make when trying to accomplish what your product does, right? So relate it to that. But you can it's still informational because you're talking about the problem that they're trying to solve. So tell them how to avoid those mistakes, but then also show how your product helps them avoid it effectively. So here's our example too. Let me read one out to you. So mistake number 1, not planning for ongoing content. A lot of membership site owners start strong out of the gate, but then their ideas fizzle out as they run out of content to provide their members. The key to this is to strategically plan a membership site where your members need your ongoing support, and that's exactly what Ron and Alice show you how to do. And then, there's other mistakes listed as well, and it all relates back again to the product. But it still gives that reader ideas. Say they're going to run with the membership site on their own and not take the training. It still gives them that useful thing, but they keep getting the reminders about the product, and that, as the emails go on, then those people may sign up as well. All right, and you'll notice too in all these emails, there's a coupon in this particular site. So there's always talking about the coupon deadlines coming very soon. This is generic and doesn't say how long because it's a series that affiliates can take and schedule how they want to. But if it was an autoresponder series and you're giving them 7 days or whatever it happens to be, or maybe you want to make it shorter, you can include that, how much time they have left. Try to create that sense of urgency. All right, so email 5 is the tips email. So give them some great tips they could use on their own, but would be even better if they had the product. This puts them in the mindset that they can accomplish what the product is going to help them do, right? Let's look at our example. So these is 5 value boosting items for your membership site. So again, they could take this and run with it on their own. Or if they want to figure out how to implement all this, they're going to go and sign up for the training. So we give them those few ideas. There's glossary, message border group, and a few others there. It's blocked on my screen. Anyways, but then it says, it ends with, of course, Ron and Alice have a ton more ideas for you, and they're going to walk you through each step of the process for creating, launching, and continuing to grow your profitable membership site. And seriously, if you don't want to get bogged down in any of the software or technology, they'll take care of it for you. They're making this as simple as possible. And then again, it mentions the registration deadline and all that stuff to try to get them in a little faster. So moving on to email 6 is we're going to give them a 24-hour warning. Test the subject line 24-hour warning. I find that, if you do a sort of a countdown, that kind of gets attention. If you're doing broadcast emails, so this is like a follow-up series, but if you're just sending out stuff to all your list, I find sometimes, a 24-hour warning, 12-hour warning. It seems kind of boring, but it's surprising at how much people open that because they see the time going down and they're like, oh, I better go check. That's more difficult to do in a follow-up series, especially if your autoresponder only lets you choose. They'll get they'll get one email a day at the same time each day, but something to think about for other emails. So what you might want to do here is, it's hard to say in a follow-up series that there's 24 hours left for them to buy if you don't want, because we're going to send them one more email. So we don't want to say that, but we could say it's 24 hours until last call. So we're going to send them another email 24 hours from now. I hope that makes sense. Does that make sense? All right. So give them a few more reasons to buy, add a case study, testimonials, or something like that. And I'm going to talk about those because those are very powerful tools as well that you want to use to be able to turn that subscriber into customers, case studies, testimonials, and FAQs. So I'm going to go over those briefly after we're done as well. But let's look at our example. So 24-hour warning, your last chance for recurring income. And we give them a few more reasons to register now. These might be reasons you gave in other emails, but you're recapping it. Try to add a little bit more. Give them, perhaps some reasons that you haven't mentioned before. There you go. And think about, really try to put your mind in imagine what your prospect would like. Like one of the biggest selling points of this training in particular, and it may or may not relate to your product, was that we actually during the training built a membership site from scratch. So we let people see us do it, and we shared our, the money we made, all that extra stuff. So they were able to see us do it. So if you could demonstrate that, can be a really good selling point for your product or service as well. All right. And your last email is going to be your last call. And on a last call email, whether it's a follow-up series or a broadcast, I always keep it super short and simple. And I also, there's urgency created by the fact that it's their last call. But I also include some urgency of my own message. So I'm telling them, before I log off for the night, or I'm just about to run out to karate class or yoga class, and I wanted to send them a quick reminder, and that tells them why the email's short, why I'm in a hurry, why they should hurry, and add that. You use your judgment how you want to incorporate that, but keeping it short, adding that rushed kind of feeling to it often produces some great results. So in our example, we start with just about to log off, and it gives them just, one last reason to sign up and the link. Sometimes I do them shorter, just get them clicking through the link because you've been talking about this product for the last few days. So the most likely they're already aware of it. So it's decision time and they just need to go and do it.